The DJI Mini 5 Pro is capable of taking some incredible photos, but in this video I'm going to show you how to make them look even better. So this doesn't matter if you have the RC Pro 2 controller or the RC2. The Mini 5 Pro is fantastic for video, but also photos as well. We have the new 1-inch sensor, the 50 megapixel quad Bayer sensor, but to actually get the very most out of this, we first need to go into the settings and just change a couple of things in relation to the photos. So we're going to do that first. I'm going to show you some settings to change on here, talk a little bit about composition, and then show you once you've actually got your photos, how you can edit them and get much better results than the standard photos that you're going to get straight out of this drone. So firstly, what we need to do is change a couple of settings. So click photo on the top right hand corner of your controller, and then you'll go into the settings and click on here where it says camera. So this is now going to be relating to the photo settings on here. If you don't see that, it's because you're still in video mode. So make sure you hit photo and then go to your settings. And you'll see the first option is JPEG RAW or JPEG plus RAW. Now what I would always recommend you do is change this to JPEG and RAW. This is going to give you two separate files for every photo that you take. And then underneath that it says 4:3 or 16:9. Now this should be set to 4:3, so you're getting the most amount of detail. 16:9 is going to crop in, so already you're going to lose quality. And if you are enjoying any part of this video, do me a favor, just hit that like button. It really does help me out. Watch this video to the end and subscribe. It's completely free, and I've got a lot more videos coming on the DJI Mini 5 Pro. Don't want you to miss out on. And there's even some more tech releases coming. It just never stops. And then underneath that, you've got 12 megapixel or 50 megapixel. So do we want to be using that the most all the time? Well, kind of, yes. It depends. So 50 megapixel, this is going to capture a lot more information. It's going to allow you to then crop in afterwards if you want to. So in the areas where I go, if I'm going to a really nice place, it's a fantastic landscape or something really nice or unusual, I'll switch to 50 megapixel. If I'm just in like a location I go to all the time, nothing's really spectacular there, but I just want to take a couple of photos, then I'll go and switch 12 megapixel. This means that the file sizes are going to be a lot smaller, and it's not something that I want to like maybe print afterwards or, you know, think that's a fantastic photo. It's kind of like a snapshot, but in fantastic locations, 50 megapixel is what you want to select so you have the most quality available. Now we'll do a full video on Auto or Pro, but basically just running through this. If you're a complete beginner, Auto is absolutely fine. For photos, Auto, what I would recommend is go to the exposure setting and just reduce this down to -0.3. If it's really bright like high noon, -0.7. And then finally composition. So go to the grid lines, and I always have the rule of thirds on and the center point. You'll find with photos, just having decent composition is going to massively improve the like overall look of that photo, so make sure those are turned on. So I'll put some examples on the screen from the Mini 5 Pro taken recently on this trip, and what I'll do is I will also add a couple of these to a Google Drive link, so you can actually go and download a couple of these. You can go and edit them yourself. You can go along and actually follow the next step with me if you want to, and these are all taken in that raw format, so no editing has been done whatsoever by the DJI software. It's now for me to go into the next step, which is that video edit. So Luminar Neo is a fantastic program, especially for beginners. It makes photo editing so simple because photo editing naturally is pretty daunting, especially for beginners. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can end up like really ruining that shot. If you end up moving the sliders yourself, don't really know what all these highlights and shadows are, you're best off just leaving that photos to start with, because that photo can turn bad really fast. Whereas with this program, it makes it so simple because a lot of it is all based around sliders. Now on the right side you can see the developing tab. This is where you would traditionally do all your color grading for your photos. So you can change the contrast, you can bring the highlights down, you can increase the shadows, you can add some sharpness, saturation. Now rather than actually using this developing tab and editing the traditional way and learning about all this, Luminar gives you a ton of different tools available for you all on this right hand side, and they keep constantly adding to this as well. And this is what makes it ideal for either A, fast edits, or B, if you're a complete beginner. So a really nice location here. How can we actually make this better? Now at the very top of all these tools is Enhance AI, and this is what you're going to be using the most. This is a really powerful tool. Basically, this is going to analyze that photo and it's automatically going to adjust the exposure, the highlights, the shadows, the saturation, and the contrast all in one slider. So rather than going to that developing tab and doing all this manually, you can literally just increase this slider along. So as I'm increasing this slider, you can see it's adding some brightness to that tower, some sharpness, and also decreasing the highlights. Now, what I would suggest is you don't want to completely overdo it and go to 100. I mean, you might like that look, but I find the really oversaturated look just isn't really good anymore. Subtle amounts is better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it on round about 31%. So if we look at the before and after, it's not a huge difference, but we're not overdoing it either. And if you click on the bottom right hand corner, you can see this icon here where you can move it across, and that shows you the before and after. And a really unique aspect to this program is that you can use video LUTs on here, something which you just can't do on Lightroom. So if we go down to the Creative tab and click on Mood, you can actually install video LUTs onto this. So if you have like my Mini 4 Pro or DJI Air 3S, or coming really soon, the DJI Mini 5 Pro LUTs, you can use them on your photos. So to show an example of that, I'm going to actually click on one of the coming soon DJI Mini 5 Pro LUTs, and this is a golden LUT. Now again, you can change that strength under amount. Don't overdo it, but you don't want it to be flat either. So I would say about 58. This gives a completely different golden look to it. I just think it looks so much better than that original shot on the Mini 5 Pro. Now I want this tower here to pop some more. So what I'm going to go back to is Enhance AI, but rather than adjusting that whole slider, I'm going to now click on Masking. I'm going to click on Brush. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to literally draw over this tower. Really simple to do. You can do this in a couple of different ways, but just for the content of this video, I'll just keep it really nice and simple. So that's now selected that tower. So what I can do now is click on Adjustments, and then as I move that slider up, it's only actually affecting the tower now. So you can see that's now going to pop more. If I bring it to about 60%, that stands out a lot more than it did. If I show you the before and after of just using that one effect, you can see now your eye is drawn more to that tower. And we can also enhance that because it has a tool under Creative called Relight. And this allows you to control the brightness of the near and far parts of that photo. So if I just increase this slightly from the brightness near, that's going to brighten up this part of the photo. And then I can also decrease or increase the far part of the photo to also give a different effect. So for that, I'm just going to decrease that down to -7. Now, I like every part of this photo aside from, to me, it's looking a bit too contrasty. So I'm going to go to Develop, and on Smart Contrast, I'm just going to bring some of that contrast down so it's not too sharp. We don't want your photos to look super sharp. It just doesn't look natural. Now, it also has another tool, and this is good if you're filming in the sea or over lakes, over water. It also has a water enhancer tool. So this water here, obviously really nice colors, but just to show you an example, what we can do is we can increase this amount. And if you just look at the color of that water, as I increase it, it's going a lot more saturated and like a darker blue color. Let's just keep it on 16. That just makes that water a bit more saturated, darker blue, really subtle, but that's great. And if we just look at that horizon here, it's not exactly straight. So if we go to crop, we can click on horizon alignment, and this now allows you to adjust the alignment of that. So if we just look at that now and click enter, that's going to adjust it. So we've got a straight horizon line. So I'm really happy with that. So that was the before, and that's the after. Switching locations here to another fantastic part of the island. What we have here, which is a good tool, is at the very top under favorites, you've got Enhance AI like we've just spoken about. We've also got Sky AI as well. And this allows you to manipulate that sky. So this is nice, but it's a bit flat as well. Now you can keep it on this if you want to. You don't have to use any of these, but you do have a variety of different skies all built into this program. So if we just look now, we can change the look of this photo by clicking on one of these different skies. And it doesn't just affect the sky, it also changes the colors and the highlights of other parts of the photo as well. So especially around all these rocks here. So for this, I like to think, because it's like quite a dramatic cliff face and a lighthouse, a dramatic sky goes well. Now, if we go to that Enhance AI slider again, we're going to click on Masking, and this time we're going to click on Mask AI, and now it's going to analyze that whole photo really fast, and it allows you to select now either the sky, the water, or the mountains. So if we click on mountains, now the mask, you can see it's all around the landscape here. We go to adjustments, and now I'm going to increase that. That's going to just affect the rocks, the mountains, all the landscape here, not the sky or the sea. And then just to add some sharpness to these rocks, we're going to go to Structure AI. This is similar to the clarity slider in Lightroom, if you're familiar with that. So it's a really powerful tool. You don't need to add much at all. I'm just going to add maybe 9. So if we look now at the before and the after, what a massive dramatic difference that looks. And when I touched on before about using the JPEG and RAW aspect, this was taken in RAW. You can see it's quite underexposed. You can barely see anything here. But because we've actually shot in RAW, what this allows you to do is recover this photo. So just really quickly, if we go to the shadows here, we can increase the shadows to say 62. Now, if you was using a JPEG file, this wouldn't be possible. You can't recover that as much because it's not captured the same amount of detail. Whereas with here, we can just make some minor adjustments and it's going to look a lot better than it did initially because you've captured a raw file. So this does obviously really, really fast edit. I would have to do a lot more to this. But if I just show an example, that was what it was like out of the drone. With it being a raw file, I can recover it so it is usable. So a really cool location here, Enhance AI. So this might be all you need to do. Just increase that to say 44% and call it a day. That's ready to share. But you do also have built-in presets. So if we click on that now, you can go and actually toggle through all these different presets that it's got built in. So this could be for portraits if you're taking pictures of people, could be sunsets, overcast, landscapes, even dogs. For this photo, I'm going to click on scenery. And you've got here 6 built-in presets that you can click on, each one giving you a different look as well. So if we click on that, that's going to add a lot of sharpness, which I'm not really a fan of. You've got fast fix, pleasing touch, more volume, simple, and clear skies. So all this is done for you. I quite like this pleasing touch to it because it's desaturated a lot of the blues in the sea and the sky. I think that's a lot better. So that's now done. Now I can adjust the slider if I don't want to add 100%, but for this, I'll just keep it on 100. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to Structure AI because it's got a bit too much sharpness that. So I'm now going to reduce that to say minus 30, minus 40. Now the composition here was purposely done so you would see a lot of this road here, the spiraling road, and also it's not cut off. Now if I was to actually have that drone in a different position and it missed this part of the road, it would end up looking something like this. And yes, that looks good, but it doesn't look as good, does it? And just to show you some more tools you've got available, under landscapes, you've got something called Atmosphere AI. Now this allows you to add fake fog, layered fog, mist and haze to your photos, which will completely change the look of it and give a really cool effect. So this is a decent photo, nice area again, middle of the day. Let's just see how much we can change this. So if we click on fog and increase this slider, you can see it's adding a lot of fake fog to that scene. So if we just keep it about 40%, we can change the lightness as well. Let's just bring that down a little bit. So you'll bear with me, you'll see what I'm doing. So that's looking different, isn't it? We've got fog here, but a really bright blue condition, high noon scenario. So let's go back to the skies and let's try and find a dramatic one. So dramatic sky 1, that looks pretty good. By the colors, they contrast well together. Now, if we do that and then we go back now to the landscape under atmosphere, now what we're going to do is select mist. So we're going to add some mist to it now. Let's just keep that, say there. About 28%. So you can see such a difference that we're making now to that photo from what it originally was to now it looks completely different. And all this is done fake, just from sliders. Now you can see the trees here as well. It gets better. So what we can do, we can click under landscape again, and then we can click on foliage enhancer. And this allows you to just improve the look of any of these trees, any grass in that scene. So if we increase that now, just look at how much saturation is being added to these trees. So I won't overdo it, but we'll just keep it on 20. And then if you want to go for, say, like an autumn look, you can change the hue as well. So you can bring this down, have more of a red tint to it. So you can really play around with these sliders and make a dramatic look to your photo so easily. And this is what I love about this program. It just makes it simple for anybody to get these effects. Now I'm going to click on develop. I'm just going to bring those highlights down a little bit more. And for that photo, I think that is really cool. Something different, something you don't see all the time. Doesn't look overly fake at all. I think if I posted that onto my Instagram, people would believe it. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments down below. But for this, let's just think about Instagram. We can click on crop AI. And then if we click on this button here, this will automatically adjust this to a 9:16 aspect ratio ready to share to Instagram. Click on the enter button. That's going to apply that crop and ready to share. And if we go look at this slider again, this is a dramatic difference. That's the before and that's the end. Such a cool photo. And I'm using this program all the time, not only for fast edits, but because you can make such a difference to your original photo just by generally changing that sky or adding that enhanced AI slider. It is such a powerful program that I highly recommend. If you want to go and check this out, I'm going to link it all at the top of the description with my additional discount code as well. So if you put this discount that's on the screen, you're going to get some extra money off. Highly recommend this. It's available on Mac, it's available on Windows. You can also get this on your phone, your iPad, your Android phone. So it's a fantastic program. Go and check it out. So I hope you enjoyed that video, guys, and it showed you how to get some better photos out of your drone. So go and practice this. Change these settings, go and download Luminar Neo, have a go at this and actually edit them to make them look even better. Change the look and the style of it, change that sky replacement. You can do so many things on that Mini 5 Pro. Small, subtle amounts, this is going to be the best, but just improve the look of that photo. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button if you did, so you don't miss out on future videos. A like would be fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to watch another video, I'm going to post it up here or here, one of these sides. See you on the next one.